Hello, you're listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Elliott. I'm excited today. We got a good friend of mine that I met at a event. I was actually speaking at the event, and we went out to dinner afterwards, and I was just blown away from what Barry was doing in real estate, the experience he had, the trials and tribulations that he went through back in 08, 09 type of era, and how he didn't let that hold him back for life like several people have, right? And then, just in the last 5 years, get this, guys, just in the last 5 years, this gentleman has been able to create, more than 2,500 units, build ground up construction in the last 5 years. I mean, that's a lot to put on the resume, a lot to put on the plate, to say the least. And he's done everything from residential to multifamily commercial buildings. He's been doing it for 25 plus years, for crying out loud. And a recent project that he just did was student housing, where he bought 2 buildings, which I want to dive into this and kind of get a deeper understanding of this, but bought 2 buildings and then added 2 additional buildings to the land as well. He's done, flipping land, rezoning it, adding value, increasing the value, and either selling it off or developing as well. This guy is an expert, to say the least. So, Barry, what is happening? You also are a member of Credit Counsel Elite, which I just naturally feel more connected and love. So, what's up, brother? How we doing today?
Really doing great, Brandon. I'm glad to be talking with you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, man, it's a no-brainer. Like, with all the work that you put in over the years and all the accomplishments you've hit, it's a no-brainer. All the knowledge you have, I just want to see if I can get a percentage of it out today. I just want to see if I can leak just a little bit out. So tell me, man, for anybody out there that doesn't know who you are, where you're from, what you're up to, do you mind giving that 30,000 foot view?
Yes. So, from Wilmington, North Carolina, my family and I have been living here most of my life, consider it home. We like to travel as a family, and we're outdoorsmen, like to be on the water. So that's what we do to enjoy ourselves. But from a real estate background, like you said, I've been doing this stuff since I was 17 years old. I started, doing odds and ends, and then ended up becoming a general contractor, and it's kind of gone on from there. So, and I've been very blessed and privileged to try it and be privy to a lot of different things, right? So anytime an opportunity's come up to do something unique, I usually have taken it. So, and that kind of leads us up to today. I was working for a family office, was where I did a large majority of those units. A lot of those other units I had done before I was with them. But this past year, we started our own firm. So we, fully integrated firm. We do, like you said, land acquisitions. We can entitle it, we can build it, and then manage the asset, take it all the way through the sale if we need to. So it's been exciting. We've got a good pipeline of work built up. And like you said, we just finished our first student housing project. So it's been exciting. Been busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man. It sounds like it. And you just got done that student housing project well in advance too, right? Like, enough time that most people are over, right? To say the least.
We, from the time we put the plumbing in the ground until I turned the keys over to management, we did it 141 days. Built 2 buildings, infrastructure, parking lot, whole 9 yards. So it was tight, but we got it done.
I like it. Okay, so tell me about the student housing for a second. So you bought 2 buildings. What size were those buildings?
So they're each 12 units each. Each unit is 2 bedroom, 3 baths. So there's 72 beds in that first phase. And then we made a duplication of those buildings. So each building is exactly the same. So we added 2 more 12-unit buildings. So now we have a total of 144 beds.
Yeah.
Altogether.
And then out of those 144 beds, how fast do those get rented out?
We've been very blessed, man. I just looked at the report. I think we're over 92% leased and still have a couple in the hopper trying to get it.
Unbelievable. I love it, man. So you just get done on time, you get it done early, and then you fill up these, you toss it over to the management team, right? That they start filling up the beds. And so 144 beds, what are each bed renting out for roughly?
It's about on average $725, $730 a bedroom, give or take.
Nice.
Depending on whether it's an older unit or newer unit.
Cool.
That's the ballpark there, right?
Yeah. And then how did you get that deal? Like, how did that come to fruition?
So look, it's all about relationships in this business, It's with your subcontractors, your real estate agents, other landowners, other apartment owners. Very fortunately, I knew the original developer. Matter of fact, he and I built the first two buildings. I think it was 6 or 7 years ago. We built those two, and then we started talking one day and realized that there may be an opportunity there. So I was able to put a team together, and we were able to acquire it. And within the acquisition of the two buildings, they already had the land next door.
Yeah.
So when we acquired it, we got everything and then had to just take it through the last bit of permitting and build it.
How long did that process all take from beginning to end?
It was about mid-October, mid to end October of last year.
2022.
Yeah,
Okay.
So that was now September. So less than a year from acquisition to adding the other two buildings.
Incredible, man. I love that. What area again is that?
We're in Wilmington, North Carolina. So the university that we're mainly servicing is UNCW. We're then, to drive, you got to go around the corner, but it's less, about a mile away. But if you could cut a straight shot through the woods, it's right across the highway. So
it's pretty
really
quick.
Close. We have bus service. We actually have a bus stop in front of our community that'll take the kids to the school, and there's a school parking lot right through the woods there. So it's the proximity to the school is unbelievable.
Oh, I love it. That's incredible. And what was the purchase price on that property?
We'll keep that disclosed for now, but we've had to create a great bit of value to it.
Okay. I love it. Well, that's incredible, brother, man. That sounds like just above and beyond a home run where it's very lucrative for other investors to be a part of something like that. How did you guys fund it in the first place?
Yeah. So I was very fortunate. I've got two partners on that deal, and we did it as a syndication.
Cool.
So we were able to put the funding and all together that way and then acquire it.
Was it just the three of you guys together, or was it you guys raised private money as well?
Yes, that's part of the syndication piece. So there's three of us, and we raised the rest of the money to be able to take the loan now.
Gotcha. How much did you guys raise?
Well, it was a 20%. So, it was roughly a little over $2 million.
Okay. And then so to complete this project, you guys, it was relationship based to find it. And then to be able to get the permit process going, you guys put a syndication together, raised the capital, was able to complete the whole, remodel and ground up construction within less than a year. Took about $2 million to actually do all this, right?
No, it was roughly it was more than a little over $5 million to buy it. We had a little more than $4 million in the new part. So we're about 9.5-ish all in.
9.5 into it. Okay. And I'm sure you got hard money or some kind of bank financing for
construction to perm financing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that they covered 80%.
Yes.
Yeah. Love it. And that's what you do typically, right? On a regular basis.
And again, that was a relationship basis. This is a local regional bank here. So again, I can't emphasize enough, because of the team we put together to take it down, the team that we put together to build it. It took every one of them, from the person that was cleaning the sinks on the way out from the time we bought it, right? So it took everybody and everybody's effort to get it done. Can't emphasize enough. You got to have the right team.
Yeah.
The right relationship.
Yeah. And if there's anybody that's like a sour patch in the mix, it's like, man, it's going to mess things up for sure, right? I'm sure you've been in those relationships as well, just like I have it. It's not pretty.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So, man, on this deal, it just sounds incredible. I love it. And so are you guys doing a cash out refinance on that, or just hang on to it what's the long run look like for you guys?
Our business plan is we'll hold it. We bought it almost a year ago. So we got at least 4 more years to hold it. And make a decision from there, whether we'll do a refi, continue to hold it, or sell it. So.
Okay. And if the rates, somehow drop down tremendously, then that would be obviously a time you guys would consider doing the refinance.
Yeah, that's always an option. It's got to be favorable, right? I mean, it's obviously right now. Interest rates are making things a little challenging right now.
Yeah. So at the time back then, what did you guys lock in? It was adjustable, but locked in for 5 years?
No, so we actually got a fixed. We actually got it down to a fixed rate. Now, the construction is always based on the current rate, right? That's a variable thing, but it was a fixed term, and we were able to get under 5. So good. We got in right before everything went.
Yeah, good for you. Okay, so you locked it in at 5. It's good for 5 years, I'm sure. And then after that, there's a balloon, or you'll be readjusting and so forth. But you got plenty of time, because now this sucker's going to cash flow like crazy.
It's a good move because the school is adding more programs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're adding kids by the literal thousands over there. Yeah. So it's been good.
Yeah, good. So talk to me, man. What other deals do you have coming around like that? First off, I need you to let me know first off. All right. Well, let me know first. But what's the next steps? What else are you guys working on?
Yeah, so we're currently working on another 18-unit deal in downtown Wilmington, and then we've got another 100-plus unit deal here in Wilmington. So we're just finalizing all the entitlements and all finishing the design work to be able to get the building permits and move forward.
Now, and the way that you like to go about it is to have full control, full ownership of everything, meaning you're getting it right from the dirt, the ground, and you're getting it when it's worth little to next to nothing. You're going through the process of permitting and retitling it so that you can get it up to code, which increases the value drastically. There's wholesalers out there that flip land that do this, but they flip it right away. You're the intelligent guy that says, hey, I could flip it and make a bunch of money, but I'd rather hang on to it. I'll raise the capital. I'll finish this thing to the very end.
Well, and that's what I feel like our superpower is, right? Because like you say, there's people that can do parts and pieces of that, but there's fewer firms that can do the whole thing, right? And that's how like I said, we've kind of built this fully integrated model to where we can do those things. And that's the value we bring to our partners and our investors, right?
Yeah.
Between my partner and the building business, we've got over 50 years of experience. So doing, from acquisitions to land development and the construction and everything in between. So I feel like we've got a pretty good handle on how that works. We enjoy it, most importantly, and we got a really good team of subs that we work with. So that's the key, man, is you got to add value to anything that you're doing, right? So being able to do these projects and to see it, and it's kind of like a sixth sense, right? You kind of see something, and you got to know the codes and know the temperament of the city and everything else. You just not just have to throw a dart out there and then take this piece of land and do something with it, right? You got to kind of be in the understanding of the vibe of what's happened.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So for anybody out there that doesn't know about that information, like, how would you recommend them? I know you've been doing it for it's not your second day on the job here, but how does somebody actually get out there, start learning this within their backyard of their city?
So the geeky part about it is like watching paint dry. But if you watch your city council meetings, your county commissioner meetings, that's where they're doing the land rezonings. That's where sometimes the civil engineers or the land planners are there. You'll find out who's doing what. Most of the time it's a 80-20 rule, right? 20% is doing 80% of the work.
Yep.
So you watch them month in and month out, you kind of find out who the land plan, the successful land planners are that actually get it done, what people are getting away with, right? In the rezonings and what the temperament of the boards are. So if there's a market that you like, I'd recommend find out when they are. They're usually once a month. You can go down to their zoning departments, and most of those departments will have a 20-year published 20-year or 50-year plan, that kind of goes over the different maps of the city, the zoning areas, and what their initial plans are to do that. So it's always easier to kind of go with the flow, right? So if you can find one of those zoning areas that you like, that's the kind of project you want to do, go there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so anybody can just go down to their local town, city development and ask for these things. It's all public record. It's all open to the public. You just would need to find out when these zoning board meetings are to see what kind of projects are going to be talked about at this given moment. And you'll have the opportunity to hear the discussions and be that fly on the wall. I've been to a couple myself, and honestly, I didn't feel like I fit in by any means, and it feels awkward as hell, but it's good to be the fly on the wall and start knowing the movers and shakers that are doing it month in and month out. Like you said, it's 20% is going to be doing 80% of the work on a regular basis. And once you learn that and they're seeing your face, getting familiar with you, and you just bumping knuckles and having those conversations and asking a couple questions here and there, it can really set you apart from the rest. And over time, it can develop into understanding plus closing more deals.
That's right. Then you'll get kind of a sense, right? You'll kind of gain that sixth sense to where maybe you can see a dilapidated house that's in that right zoning area, that maybe a larger parcel of land as not just a little postage stamp that, hey, maybe I can do something with that, right? And then you just got to take it through the process and see what happens.
Yeah. And as I was getting started as a real estate investor, I would, and many of the listeners may use this as well, and if not, you should, find the real estate agents that are very hungry and eager to do a lot of work for you, sending you leads, right? For residential and commercial and so forth, if you'd like. But also on the contrary to that, use and abuse in the same form and fashion, your escrow department or, your title company that you like to use, or even architects that you build a relationship with, and you take them out to lunch here and there and you give them some kickbacks or whatever for them to look up and educate you along some of the process as you're doing this, because it will bring a wealth of knowledge that it will just save you a ton of time, in my opinion. And I've used that a ton in the past.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I was just talking with a friend of mine earlier today about it. At some point you have to take an educated move and just do something, right? You don't have to take action. Off the biggest project in town, right? Even if it's taking a single family house or a lot, making a duplex lot, just something simple. You'll get your education in the first deal. So hopefully you at least break even, right? You always want to make money, but if you can at least break even and learn something, that's hard knocks. That's street education right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's valuable because over time, it just turns into you doing the right moves and hitting some lucky streaks, and it can be really beneficial and valuable for your family and your finances at the end of the day. So I love that. Barry, talk to me. How the heck are you finding some of these deals? Are you using any other relationships or like wholesalers or anything like that? Or are you just you putting in the work and sending out mailers? What are you doing?
Man, I'm busy. A lot of the guys that pump out a lot of money in that are going to be really mad with me.
I know.
Our closing ratio is pretty high. And honestly, we don't do that. We don't send mailers. We don't, maybe you call it driving for dollars, as some people call it. But we're in our backyard primarily. I'd like to kind of take this show on the road a little bit more, get outside of our market. So we very well may have to start deploying some of those tactics, right? But another part of the thing with the city we're talking about, you look at your local GIS map and it's a property map, right? We know those maps inside out.
Yeah.
Right? And we have a target area. So we just either work with realtors to help knock on doors, or we'll go knock on doors or make phone calls, or it's just, again, a lot of relationships. Within our backyard, even though there's been a lot of people move to town, you can still usually within 4 or 5 people find out somebody that knows somebody, right? Yeah. So, but again, once you kind of bring this show on the road and you get outside of your local jurisdiction or your local area, you have to work a little harder, right? You got to be a little more creative.
Sure.
But, quite honestly, we either have relationships with realtors, so we do have them, we have a handful of those that we like to work with. And quite honestly, we just know other landowners that we'll approach directly and either do, JV deals with them or buy the property outright or whatever it takes, right? There's a million ways to do a deal. So we just take advantage of that. So we're pretty fortunate that's how it is right now.
I love that. And so I want to go back to funding as well. I know that you talked about some of the secret sauces really using and building upon those small local credit unions that you have a strong relationship with. They cover 80%. That's phenomenal, right? Now, as well as taking advantage of the benefits with syndication, making it such a win-win scenario, tax advantages, equity position, and allows the mom and pop to be able to 1.5x or 2x their money in a short period of time. That's incredible, right? So tell me about those two strategies. Is that what you primarily focus on a regular basis over the years?
Well, quite honestly, JVs are most of the deals that we've done in the past.
Yep.
In dealing with local banks.
Yep.
Has been our go-to. Quite honestly, the syndication, it was new to me only a year and a half ago. I went to an event and met my two partners, and we hit it off. And I've been very blessed with both of them. We've been very fortunate just to hit it off. And like we've been doing business together for 10 years already, right? So,
yeah.
It just worked out really well. But they introduced me to the syndication piece. And I had never done one before, and these guys had done quite a few. So they kind of coached me and drug me through that process, and then I showed them how to develop and build it. So it was a good learning curve on both sides, right? All three of us brought something different to the table. So, but yeah, you can use syndications, you can use JV deals. It just depends on the scope and the size of your project. But I guess the most important thing to remember is if you can find a good deal, money will find you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. You just can't be shy about the deal, right? Like you can't order it to yourself. You got to let people know.
No, you can't hoard it and sit on, throw it under the couch and hope it grows one day. I mean, you
and then say, Barry said it would come to me. Barry said it would come to me. It's like, no. You got to let people know that you got it.
Yeah. I mean, you do. But like I say, if you have the right deal, you'll get it done.
That's right. It will.
And what a lot of people need to remember is, don't think you're always going to hit a grand slam out of the gate, right? Like I said, if even on your first two deals, if somebody's really just starting out in this kind of thing, just hope to break even and just learn, just get out there and learn and get dirty and figure it out. But, but again, if you get in with the right team, like I was very fortunate to get the two partners that I did, and it'd be right, and you get to learn and make money at the same time. It's a phenomenal thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, right?
It's like one of my coaches say, it's a team sport, and that's exactly what it is. So you just got to go find the right team. But if you can find the right deal and then try to go find a good team, you can make it happen.
Yeah, there's no I in team for sure. And you mentioned that you found these other two partners at an event, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's actually at a Rod Cleef.
Okay. Yeah.
The buddy of mine, he's got a great personality, right? And he's very abundant and brings those type of folks to him, right? Man, that's that kind of thing. And so I met my two partners through that event, and man, it's been good ever since. So
yeah, I love that. That's the power of masterminds and events, right? And constantly investing in yourself. You're getting around other like-minded people that are doing high-level stuff. Exactly the opposite of what, like the syndication model. That wasn't your thing. You've never done that, but you had the experience of 25 plus 100 units in the last 5 years and so much more, right? 25 years experience. And so they had, the tons of experience in syndications and so forth. So you find the opposites, but in the same room of what you need. And, you partnering up with somebody that is a gangster in their space and their art of the deal. I mean, come on, that's what it's all about. So I love that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you kind of brought that up, Randy. That was something that was new to me. I'd been to other smaller local type things.
Okay.
Actually made me a little more skeptical about a mastermind type idea. There was more the cheesy, knock off kind of events. But once I went to Rod's event, man, I was like, what, this is pretty cool that you're in a room, and I think there's probably 800 people at that event. And they're all like-minded. Everybody was wanting to talk and be open and learn and give and take. It was really cool to see, a very diverse group of people too, mind you. I mean, there was every walk of life in the room. So that was very cool to be able to share something like that, especially in this environment that we've been in the last few years, Good. But I've been to probably another 6 to 10 events since then. And that's something I probably go to 4 a year now. At least to go to 3 or 4 a year. And man, it's every time I'm going to another event, you and I met at an event in New Orleans. That's how you meet people. That's how you meet like-minded people. And that's how you expand your horizons in your knowledge base. Right.
Yeah, man.
And hopefully you can add to somebody else's. But if you're brand new to the game, you'll get, it's like Joe Evangelisti, a good friend of ours says, go get in the right room. Go do it.
Yeah.
Get in the right room.
I like to call it almost like a speed dating, except like it's already getting filtered out for you. It's like it's good quality people in the right room doing the right things, have the similar goals at mind, and have similar experiences. So it's like that's a huge filter mechanism right there, right? That you really want to step into, and it's worth every penny to save you the time, energy, effort, money, everything. So
penny for speed. That's exactly.
Yeah. And then once you get your butt in there and you don't need to do any of the filter out process, then you get to speed date everybody and see who you actually want to, do life with and do business with and, grow and scale things. It's like, man, there's nothing better. I love it. I'm a junkie when it comes down to going to events. We go to, a dozen plus a year and invest over $250,000 into ourselves each year just from mastermind groups because we know the power of it. I will demand an extraction, from getting an ROI one way or the other and doing business deals and really growing and scaling my knowledge. So I think that is just such a slept on type of space out there that people aren't totally capturing, and the more that people start realizing like this is going to elevate you to the next level so much faster and really just using like a lot of people put money on the pedestal, right? When it should just be the tools of being utilized and put to work. And the more that you realize that, the sooner that you realize it, it can really leave a different footprint for you, which I love.
Well, again, it's like anything else, taking action, right?
Yeah.
Go to one of the bigger events, right? Go to like a Rod Cleef event or the Top Equity event or any of these other, 100 events that has 100 or 500 or 1,000 people. Go to that and just listen. Don't, shake some hands and meet some people. If you've never done anything like it, just go experience it, right?
Yep.
And you'll see the synergy in everything that you're speaking of. And then you'll start finding other events, right? Smaller events. I like the big events, but I like the smaller ones, the more true mastermind events. So you can really share ideas and really get into the nuts and bolts of a business, right? Or investment or whatever it is. Yeah, but you'll never be privy to that if you don't go.
That's true. Yep, it's so good.
And it's like, I have a college education. I have 2 degrees, so I know what a formal education costs, and I can almost tell you to the penny what a street education costs. I don't know that a lot of these things were functionable when I was just out of high school. I think there were some events, but it's not like it is today, right?
No,
especially with social media and everything. There's such a wealth of knowledge out there. But if young people that are graduating high school or even like in their first year of college and just don't have a frigging clue, if you have an idea of something that sparks your interest, go to an event.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No, I agree.
I would much rather have given all the money that I spent for my formal education and went to events, right? If I not knowing what I know now.
Yeah, knowing what you know now. Like if you had the choice to actually spend it on college or actually just spend it at going to events in person, networking, getting to learn like true education and the high level people around you, that synergy, my God. Yeah, it's incredible.
Because, like we said, we were at a real estate event when you and I met.
Yep.
I know you're in real estate, but your superpower is knowing the money game, right?
Yeah.
Credit side. So it's like, again, you'll meet all walks of life going to these things and you'll never know what you can pick up and learn. I'm getting a lot from you. So you never know, man. Everybody has a superpower. You just need to know how to tap into it.
It's so good. It's so good. Just taking action, just like you said. So Barry, tell me, man, what does it look like for the future for you guys? It sounds like it's just getting started to a certain degree. I know you've been doing it a long time and it's like the ball's rolling and you guys are doing some amazing things, but you got an 18 unit right now. You got a 100 unit as well. How many projects do you like to take on at a time? And what does the future look like for the next 5-10 years for you guys?
So, that's the great thing, man, is that we really want them to be quality. You can go out and take 100 things on and at the end of the day, they're not, if you do 100 things at one time, unless you have just a phenomenal machine.
I've never met him. I never met that guy.
It's not going to be, it's not going to be quality. So we prefer it to be quality, but most importantly, the thing for us right now is building a true balance of life, right?
Yeah.
It's to do these things, to make investments, to get passive income, so we can take the time to find the right deal, right? Because now there's not a lot of low-hanging fruit right now.
Yep.
I think there will be coming up soon, but you just to be able to enjoy life and travel and spend time with your loved ones and be able to enjoy your craft and take the time to find the right thing and work with the people that you want to work with. Yeah, that to me is being balanced, right? And so that's what we're really trying to polish off and round out to get there to where that's just what we're doing.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, Barry, I appreciate this drastically. It means the world to me because I know all the hard work. I know just a smidge bit of your story and everything that you come from to where you're at today. It's phenomenal. So I'm proud of you, brother. I'm thankful for you. And it's cool to see what you're accomplishing in the last couple years, but also just to, imagine what's going to take place in the next few years. It's incredible.
I'm excited to see, man. And I'm glad for you to be a part of it. And I appreciate the opportunity and hopefully we gave some knowledge to some folks, right? And at least nudge them to go do something. So
yeah, that's right. We gave them a nudge for sure. So I appreciate you, brother. How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can go to my email, barry@theleewardgroup.us, if anybody wants to have a deeper conversation. But for right now, that's where it is. We are in the midst now that we have a proof of concept, right, of our own project. We are in the midst now of designing a website and putting in a a social presence, right? So all that will be coming very soon. So
cool.
We'll have all that out.
Yeah, guys, I highly recommend reach out to Barry, a wealth of knowledge, the heart of gold too. He will break down anything that you don't understand, very simplified for you and help out in each and every way whenever he can. So you definitely want to take advantage of that because there's not that many people with that type of heart to give the time and energy towards that, especially with the scale that he's growing at right now. It's incredible. So reach out to Barry, shoot him an email. If you guys want to get a hold of me, you can always do so on Instagram. It's Brandon Elliott Investments. Check out our Instagram page too for Credit Counsel Elite. We are just starting to build that out and greatly appreciate all the love and support on there. And then as always on Facebook.com/Brandon Elliott Investor. And if you want to get a hold of me or even learn more about Credit Counsel Elite, check out creditcounselelite.com. That's www.creditcounselelite.com. We'll show you how to get the banks to say yes a hell of a lot more. And with all that being said, being able to get up to $500,000 every 6 months at 0% interest. That's the name of the game. That's what we're doing. We're showing people how to fix credit quickly, how to get up to the 800 FICO score in 30 days or less. And then after you get all this funding, put it to work, leverage it, travel hack, enjoy your life, and diversify those funds. So if you have any questions, you can watch a quick video online at creditcounselelite.com and then jump on a quick call with us to get a second opinion. With all that being said, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. Leave that 5-star review. We greatly appreciate all the love and support, and we will see you on the next episode. Till next time, guys, God bless. Barry, appreciate you, bro. Have fun today.
Take care.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.